Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop chasing your dream, something inside you becomes quiet? Not because you gave up, but because a deeper part of you already knows the answer has been written. The greatest shift in life does not happen when the world changes around you. It happens when your inner world no longer asks, "Will it happen?" but gently whispers, "It is already mine." Most people wait for proof before they believe. They tell themselves they will feel successful when the money arrives. They will feel confident after the promotion. They will feel worthy when someone finally recognizes them. But life has always responded in the opposite direction. The feeling comes first. The experience follows. The unseen shapes the seen. The invisible becomes visible. This has been quietly understood through the ages by those who discovered that reality reflects the convictions carried within the heart. Imagine planting a seed. You do not dig it up every morning to check if it has grown. You water it, you trust it. You walk away expecting life to do what life has always done. Your desire is no different. Every dream is a seed placed into the rich soil of your imagination. The moment you accept it as real within yourself, something begins moving beyond your physical sight. The greatest secret is wonderfully simple. Live as if it is done, not by pretending to others, not by forcing yourself to smile while secretly expecting failure. Live from the quiet certainty that the version of you who already has everything is your true identity. You are not trying to become that person. You are remembering that person. There is a remarkable peace that arrives when you stop negotiating with your future. You no longer ask whether abundance is coming because you feel surrounded by it already. Your thoughts soften, your shoulders relax, your decisions become wiser. You naturally begin choosing what the fulfilled version of yourself would choose. Think about someone preparing for a long-awaited guest. The house is cleaned before the guest arrives. The table is prepared before anyone knocks on the door. The room is made ready because the arrival is expected. In the same way, prepare your inner world for the life you desire. Make room for prosperity, make room for love, make room for success. Expect it with calm confidence. Every great transformation begins as an invisible decision. Before a building exists, it lives in the architect's mind. Before music fills a concert hall, it exists silently within the composer. Before your dream becomes your daily life, it exists within your awareness. What you consistently accept inwardly becomes the blueprint from which life builds. Perhaps you have spent years saying, "One day I will be wealthy." But what if today you quietly change those words? "I am learning to think like someone who has more than enough. I naturally expect opportunities. I move through life with quiet confidence." Notice how these thoughts feel different. They do not beg, they do not chase. They simply recognize what already belongs to them. Your imagination is not escaping reality. It is introducing you to a greater one. Every time you return to the feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen a pathway within yourself. Eventually, that feeling becomes natural. When it becomes natural, your actions change, your conversations change, your posture changes, your expectations change, and life begins reflecting your new identity with surprising speed. Many people believe they need more effort. Often they simply need a new assumption. A person who believes they are valuable notices opportunities others overlook. A person who believes they are lucky walks through doors others never approach. A person who believes they are blessed carries a quiet confidence that attracts cooperation, friendships, ideas, and unexpected breakthroughs. Life constantly mirrors the story you tell yourself. If your inner voice repeats lack, the world appears limited. If your inner voice repeats abundance, possibilities begin appearing everywhere. Now allow yourself to become completely still. Take a slow breath. Feel the air filling your lungs with peace. As you breathe out, let every old fear drift away like mist disappearing beneath the morning sun. Imagine yourself standing on a quiet path just before sunrise. The air feels fresh against your skin. Gentle light stretches across the horizon. Every step feels effortless. Birds sing softly in the distance. The world seems to welcome you with perfect silence. Ahead of you stands a beautiful doorway unlike anything you have ever seen. It glows with warm golden light. The closer you walk, the lighter your heart becomes. Every worry begins falling away. Every doubt becomes smaller. Every anxious thought quietly dissolves. You reach for the handle. The door opens. On the other side is your life already fulfilled. You step inside. The first thing you notice is the feeling. Not excitement, not surprise, certainty. Everything feels familiar, as though you have finally returned home. You look around, sunlight pours through enormous windows into a breathtaking home filled with elegance and peace. Every detail reflects excellence without effort. Beautiful artwork hangs upon the walls. Soft music plays in the background. Fresh flowers fill the room with a delicate fragrance. Every corner speaks of abundance, not excess. Everything belongs because it naturally reflects who you have become. You walk across polished floors. Your footsteps are calm. You are not rushing anywhere because there is nothing left to chase. You glance outside. Luxury cars rest quietly in the driveway, not as symbols of status, but as simple expressions of freedom. Gardens bloom with vibrant colors. The air carries the scent of fresh rain mixed with blooming flowers. Everything around you reflects harmony. Now you notice someone walking toward you. It is you, not the old version filled with uncertainty, the fulfilled version, the wealthy version, the peaceful version, the confident version. This person smiles with genuine warmth. There is no arrogance, only quiet knowing. They look into your eyes with complete love and say without words, I have always been you. You notice how they stand straight, relaxed, comfortable, powerful without trying. Every movement expresses confidence. Every breath carries peace. Every decision comes from clarity. You ask them what changed. They gently smile. I stopped waiting for permission to become myself. I stopped measuring my future by my past. I trusted what I felt within more than what I temporarily saw outside. They invite you to walk beside them. Together you visit your thriving business. People greet you with respect and admiration. Your work creates value for countless lives. Money flows naturally because your gifts flow freely. You sign meaningful agreements with ease. Every opportunity feels perfectly timed. Your investments grow steadily. Your accounts overflow with more than enough. Yet what surprises you most is not the wealth, it is the peace. You never worry about tomorrow because abundance feels as natural as breathing. You generously help your family. You support meaningful causes. You travel wherever your heart desires. You wake each morning filled with gratitude instead of pressure. You laugh more. You sleep peacefully. You feel completely safe. Now your future self places a hand gently upon your shoulder. In that moment, every remaining wall between who you are today and who you believed you could become disappears. You realize there were never two versions of you. There was only one. One waiting to be fully accepted. One waiting to be believed. One waiting to be lived. Feel that certainty spreading through every part of your body. Your mind becomes clear. Your heart becomes open. Your identity quietly expands. The feeling of abundance no longer seems distant. It feels present, real, natural. Take another slow breath. Know that this feeling belongs to you. Carry it with you. Walk with it. Speak from it. Love from it. Because the life you desire is not asking you to chase it. It is asking you to recognize it. Every ordinary day now becomes an opportunity to embody your fulfilled self. When you walk into a room, walk as someone whose future is secure. When you make choices, choose from confidence instead of fear. When challenges appear, remember they are temporary scenes, not permanent truths. Your inner certainty is greater than any passing circumstance. There will be moments when old thoughts try to return. Welcome them with kindness, then let them pass. You no longer need to argue with fear. You simply return to the feeling that everything is unfolding perfectly. Every time you choose faith over doubt, you strengthen the reality you are creating. You were never meant to spend your life waiting for evidence that you are enough. You were meant to discover that the evidence follows the belief. The wealth, the success, the opportunities, the recognition, the peace. They are natural expressions of the person you decide to be today. So live as if it is done. Think from fulfillment. Feel from abundance. Move with quiet confidence. Let every heartbeat remind you that your inner world is the beginning of every miracle you will ever experience. What you faithfully accept within becomes the life you effortlessly recognize around you. And as you continue living from this fulfilled state, you will one day look around and smile, realizing that the life you once imagined has quietly become the life you now call normal. The beautiful thing is that you do not have to force this new way of living. Truth never needs to be forced. Think about how naturally you know your own name. You never wake up each morning trying to convince yourself of it. It simply feels true. In the same way, your new identity becomes effortless through gentle repetition. Every time you return to the feeling of already being the person you desire to become, you make that identity a little more familiar. One day you will notice that confidence no longer feels like something you practice. It feels like something you are. There is a quiet strength that comes from no longer needing the outside world to confirm what you already know within. This does not mean you ignore your circumstances. It means you refuse to let temporary appearances become permanent conclusions. Clouds may cover the sun for a while, yet no one believes the sun has disappeared. In the same way, temporary setbacks cannot erase the reality of who you have chosen to become. They are passing moments, not permanent definitions. Many people unknowingly spend their lives asking the world for permission. They wait for someone to tell them they are talented enough, intelligent enough, attractive enough, or capable enough. Yet the moment you understand that your inner acceptance is far more powerful than anyone else's opinion, something remarkable happens. You stop shrinking yourself to fit old expectations. You begin expanding into possibilities that once seemed too large to imagine. Think about a river flowing toward the ocean. It does not stop because a few rocks appear along its path. It simply finds another way. Sometimes it flows around the obstacle. Sometimes it gradually shapes the obstacle itself. Sometimes it becomes even stronger because of the resistance. Your life carries the same quiet intelligence. Every challenge you face is simply inviting a greater version of you to emerge. This is why your attention is one of your greatest treasures. Wherever your attention rests, your energy naturally follows. If you constantly focus on what is missing, you unknowingly strengthen the experience of lack. But when you gently place your attention upon the life that already exists within your imagination, you nourish that reality until it becomes impossible to ignore. Attention is like sunlight. Whatever receives it begins to grow. You may notice that opportunities begin appearing in unexpected places. Conversations seem different. New ideas arrive while driving, walking, or quietly drinking your morning coffee. People enter your life at exactly the right time. What once felt like coincidence begins to feel like perfect orchestration. This is not because the world suddenly decided to favor you. It is because you have become available to possibilities that were always surrounding you. Imagine walking through a busy city wearing headphones. Beautiful music is playing all around, but you cannot hear it because your attention is elsewhere. The moment you remove the headphones, you realize the music never began. It was always there. In the same way, abundance is often waiting just beyond the noise of fear. When your mind becomes peaceful, you begin noticing opportunities that were invisible while you were consumed by worry. This is why gratitude carries such quiet power. Gratitude is not merely saying thank you for what has already happened. It is appreciating the unseen with the same sincerity as the seen. It is smiling before the blessing fully arrives because your heart already recognizes its presence. Gratitude tells your inner world, I trust what is unfolding even before my eyes can measure it. Notice how different your day becomes when you wake with this awareness. Instead of asking what might go wrong today, you quietly wonder, what beautiful surprise is waiting for me? That single shift changes the atmosphere of your entire day. Your face softens, your voice becomes calmer, you speak with confidence instead of hesitation. The people around you feel that change long before they understand its source. There is also great freedom in releasing the need to control every detail. The mind often believes it must know exactly how every dream will unfold. Yet some of the greatest blessings arrive through paths we could never have planned. Life has a remarkable ability to arrange meetings, ideas, opportunities, and timing in ways that exceed our imagination. Your responsibility is not to design every step. Your responsibility is to remain faithful to the destination already alive within you. Think of an artist beginning a masterpiece. They do not stare endlessly at the blank canvas, wondering whether beauty is possible. They begin with the vision already held in their heart. Each brushstroke follows that invisible image. Likewise, every choice you make becomes another brushstroke painting the life you have already accepted inwardly. Small daily decisions eventually become extraordinary destinies. Perhaps today your bank account has not yet caught up with your vision. That does not prevent you from thinking like someone who manages wealth wisely. Perhaps your business has not yet reached the level you desire. That does not prevent you from carrying yourself with the calm confidence of a successful leader. Perhaps your audience is still growing. That does not prevent you from speaking with the conviction of someone whose message already touches countless lives. Identity always comes before expression. The oak tree is already contained within the tiny acorn. Nothing needs to be added to complete its design. It simply unfolds what was present from the beginning. In the same way, your abundance is not something life is deciding whether to give you. It is something already planted within your deepest nature, patiently waiting for your agreement. There will be days when your old habits whisper familiar stories. They may remind you of past disappointments or suggest that nothing has truly changed. When those moments arrive, do not argue with them. Simply smile with compassion, like greeting an old traveler who no longer lives in your home. Let those thoughts pass through without offering them a permanent place to stay. Then quietly return to your chosen identity. Return again and again until peace becomes stronger than doubt. You will discover that true power is surprisingly gentle. It does not shout, it does not compete, it does not rush. It moves with quiet certainty because it already knows where it belongs. The strongest tree in the forest never strains to convince anyone of its strength. It simply stands, season after season, deeply rooted in what it is. Become like that tree. Let your confidence grow from deep roots rather than passing applause. As this understanding settles more deeply into your heart, you will begin noticing something even more profound unfolding within you. Something that changes not only how you see your future, but how you interpret every moment of your present experience. And that realization quietly opens the door to one of the most life-changing truths you will ever embrace. And now, before you rise and return to your day, remain here for just one more quiet moment. Notice how different you feel. Nothing outside may appear to have changed yet, and still everything has changed. A new decision has been made, a new identity has been embraced, a new life has already begun within you. This is where every lasting transformation starts, not in noise but in stillness, not through struggle but through quiet acceptance. The greatest victories are often invisible at first. They are born in the sacred space where a heart finally stops arguing with its own greatness. From this moment forward, let your inner conversations become your greatest act of creation. Speak to yourself as someone deeply loved. Think of yourself as someone already blessed. Expect good things with the calm confidence of someone who no longer doubts that life is working in their favor. Every word you whisper within yourself is planting tomorrow's experience. Every belief you choose becomes the architect of your future. Every feeling you repeatedly embrace becomes an invitation that life cannot ignore. So choose your inner words with tenderness. Choose thoughts that strengthen instead of weaken. Choose assumptions that lift instead of limit. Become the guardian of your own mind, because the world you experience tomorrow is quietly being written by the conversations you are having today. You were never created to live beneath fear. You were never meant to measure your worth by temporary circumstances. You were never designed to spend your precious life waiting for someone else to recognize the treasure already placed within you. The wealth you seek begins as richness of spirit. The success you desire begins as certainty of identity. The abundance you long for begins as permission you finally give yourself to believe that you are worthy of receiving without guilt, without apology, and without hesitation. Stand gently in that truth. You do not have to become more valuable. You already are. You do not have to earn your right to dream. You already have it. You do not have to convince life to bless you. You only have to become willing to receive what has always been waiting for your acceptance. There will be mornings when the old world tries to tell you the old story. Smile kindly. Do not fight it. Simply remember. Remember who you chose to be. Remember the feeling you cultivated here. Remember the peaceful certainty that settled into your heart. Return to it as naturally as returning home after a long journey. Little by little, day after day, this way of living will become your nature. One morning you will realize you no longer react as you once did. You no longer fear as you once feared. You no longer doubt as you once doubted. The person you once imagined has quietly become the person looking back at you in the mirror. And perhaps the greatest miracle will not be the money in your accounts, the opportunities that surround you, the influence you carry, or the beautiful life you create. The greatest miracle will be the peace, the unshakable peace of knowing that your happiness no longer depends upon the approval of the world. The quiet joy of knowing that your confidence is no longer borrowed from circumstances. The deep freedom of knowing that what you are within can never be taken away by anything outside. Carry that peace wherever you go. Let it enter every conversation. Let it guide every decision. Let it shape every relationship. Let it bless every opportunity. Allow your presence itself to become a reminder that hope is real, abundance is natural, and love is the strongest creative force you can ever embody. Walk gently, speak lovingly, think deliberately, believe faithfully, live generously. And whenever you wonder what to do next, return to this simple truth. Become inwardly what you wish to experience outwardly. Everything else will follow in its own perfect time. As you leave this moment, do not leave this urgency behind. Take it into your home, take it into your work, take it into your dreams. Let every breath remind you that you are participating in the quiet creation of your own reality. You are writing your future with every thought you welcome. You are shaping tomorrow with every belief you faithfully hold. You are opening doors with every expectation born from love instead of fear. So choose well, choose consciously, choose with gratitude, choose with courage, choose with the quiet certainty that the life you have accepted within is already finding its way to you. And when the world finally reflects the abundance, success, peace, and joy you have carried in your heart, you will not be surprised. You will simply smile, because deep within, you will remember that this day was never the beginning of your blessing. It was only the day you finally believed it was already yours.